hello, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday Night Live. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. Before everybody asks, and I told Richard to drop it in the chat, Dalton is doing better. He's had no fever all day today, but I think my husband caught it. I'm still doing good, thank goodness. So Dalton's doing better. He's still coughing and runny nose, but no fever. So I'm joined by two ladies that have both been on here before, but I think it's been over a year since it's been close to a year. It's been a long time since they've been on, so we're happy to have them back on. I have Becky Park on Poshmark. Becky, I had trouble saying your name in my video yesterday too. I'm like, Becky, as well as Gor Jes. So I'm going to make them big, let them introduce themselves. And of course, Julian is beside me, my co-host, if you guys do not know him. And then we will get to the questions. And there are a lot of them already in there. So let Becky and Jess introduce themselves, and then we'll get started.
Hi, I was told that I'm in the hot spot, which means I go first for everything. But my name's Becky Park. I primarily sell on places like Poshmark and eBay. Like I see people asking all these questions about Etsy, and I'm like, I don't know. But I also primarily resell clothing, and I am a high school choir teacher. That's my full-time gig. So I'm very tired because school just started, and I don't know how I used to do this before the summer. And I'm sure I'll get back into the swing of things. But right now I am like, whew, I'm just so tired. Oh, RX Vintage Treasures. Thank you. You're so nice. That's all my frame. Well, let me
Good enough. Here's Jess.
Thank you.
Oh, hey guys. I'm Jess. I am a part-time reseller as well. I sell on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari. Used to sell on Tradesy, but not really anymore. Facebook Marketplace, and I do Whatnot live auctions. I just started that, so that's pretty fun. And then you can also find me on like Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. So if you guys have any questions about TikTok, let me know, because I can answer those for sure.
They might have questions about Whatnot too, because me and Julian haven't jumped into Whatnot. I'm approved, but I haven't. I was actually waiting for FlipCon, but now that I'm not going to FlipCon, now I'll wait for my household to be out of chaos. Probably next week. I will shoot for next week. Stuff keeps and then we're going to be going through the school adjustment thing. He just got to where he wasn't crying when we dropped him off. Now he's out for a week, and then we're going to start all over again.
No.
His teacher texted me. I thought that was so amazing. She texted me to ask me how he was doing, which I thought was super cool. And I was impressed with that. All right. Richard has the first question. He wants to know, what is the highest priced item you have sold? And was that your best profit item?
Okay, so I just go first for everything because of the hotspot, not because I think I'm like the best or like the most qualified, just so everyone knows, okay? Everyone's gonna be like, oh my God, that girl talks a lot. Like, they told me I'm supposed to. The highest priced item that I sold was actually my laptop and my husband's laptop. But was that the highest or best profit item? No, because we paid full price for that sucker, and then we sold it for like still a good amount, but it was not like my highest profit. But I was really happy to make money back on it. It was like a MacBook or something like that.
I would say my highest priced item was something I sold a couple years ago. It was a pair of Chanel shoes, and I found them at the Goodwill right down the street from me, which was very surprising. And then I was a little worried that they weren't authentic. But I had a friend of mine kind of authenticate them, but she wasn't like sure. So I did end up selling them for like $500 on Poshmark. And on Poshmark, they authenticate for free if it's over $500. And they came back authentic. So, whew. And so, yeah, I paid $30 for them and made, $500 off of it. So that was, I think that was my highest priced item I can think of right now, and the biggest profit.
I would say mine was probably a brand new set of Cleveland golf clubs. They were like older, like they were like 15 years old, but they were never used, still wrapped up and everything. I think I got them for like $20 and they sold for $750 overseas. So that would probably be the highest profit and the most expensive.
So I had a Kappa Di Monte. I can't remember if it was 3,000 or 3,200. And then I sold 2 Judith Lieber purses for 3,000. I paid actually about the same for all 3 of those that sold right at 3,000. That was about $800. And yes, they were my highest profit. It was probably about 1,500 to 1,700 after fees. And the same buyer bought the 2 Judith Lieber purses, and then the Kappa Di Monte a doctor bought. And I was nosy. I'm not gonna lie. The 2 Judith Lieber purses went to a doctor's wife, just in case you guys are nosy. I did a little Google. You know, when somebody spends $6,000 on some purses, you gotta kind of see who it is. So, it was a doctor's wife. Both of them were physicians that bought my high stuff.
Okay, but because I'm ignorant, what is a Kappa Di Monte? What is
Kappa Di Monte is like porcelain. I have another one here that's a $3,000 one too. But they're big. They're like almost 2 feet long, and they are Disney ones. So the Disney, like Kappa Di Monte is a really like high-end porcelain. And when combined with Disney, I think these were like maybe 1,000 of them made. So pretty limited on the grand scheme of things, but they're giant. So I had to have a freight company deliver it. I did not pack that thing. I did pack the 2 little $3,000 little tiny Judith Lieber purses. They were like that big. $3,000. Crazy. All right. Miss Sue wants to know, do you delete your solds? And if so, when? And if you don't, why not?
I do not, because I don't have the time or energy for that. I just leave it. People can see it if they want. I'm so tired, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm just like...
She's like,
yeah,
no, I feel you.
Yes. And because of that energy of just being tired all the time, I do not delete mine.
I actually had no idea you could delete them. So obviously I don't. So yeah, that's my answer.
I didn't know you could delete them either.
Okay,
I
good.
had no idea. Yeah.
Glad I'm not the only one.
I didn't even try. So.
Like, do you mean on eBay? Like, I know you can on Poshmark. Actually, can.
I don't think you can if they're sold on Posh.
Not on Posh. But
they won't let you if they're sold. I don't delete mine either. I don't see any purpose of it. Like, unless you're trying to hide something, and who are you trying to hide it from? Some people use the out of stock option. I know that because then people don't see that it's sold if they're trying to hide what they're selling. But yeah, I don't see any point in it. Miss Michelle wants to know, what is the worst part of the reselling business for you, and how do you motivate yourself to get whatever that hardest part is done?
I think it changes, depending on the season and whatever. I think right now what I've been really irritated with has just been like it just being everywhere in my house, and it's not even like, oh, you can't escape it. And it's just more like, it's just clutter, and I mean, a lot of that is just on me. Like, I'm not doing a good job of cleaning things up, and I'm bringing in like way too much stuff, and I'm not able to process it super quickly. But I think that's it. And to be honest, like, I can live in pure filth probably. It's more that it like bothers my husband a lot, and then we like get into little tiffs over it. So I think it's just more like it just is not awesome for like the family, and my kids are like tripping over clothes, and so it's like that kind of stuff. But I don't know, sometimes it is like the lack of motivation, sometimes it is like the people and dealing with customers, but right now I'd have to say it is just the sheer amount of stuff.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Becky. It's definitely hard, especially with my kid and my husband are all like, what is all this? And why did you just bring home more? Like, you haven't sold this much stuff. So why are you bringing in this much stuff? But also, I was going to say first, before Becky started talking, that reselling or the shipping postman, he does not come to my house. Like, if I do a porch pickup, he will only pick up, as many packages as I put on the sheet. But that's if he does that. Like, sometimes he's just like, nah, I don't want to come to her door. And he just goes. And I have to take him to the post office anyway. So I'd rather just do it myself. So, yeah, the post office is really kind of a thing that's been for years for me. Just a hassle.
Yeah.
I would agree with the post office thing 100%. I hate because we have like one post office can't stand me. They're like, we don't like you. You ship too much stuff, and I'm like, well, find me a place I can put it. Now, I don't mind taking it there, but like they have a lot of attitude about me shipping stuff. It's like it's not a big deal. You're the post office, and so we don't even go there anymore. That post office, but almost that is. It's annoyance of like even like my UPS stores are like. When you bring up a lot of things, I'm like, my job's to sell, your job's to ship. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of work together here. That's an annoyance. But, like, so I definitely agree with that one. And the worst part, it kind of, like, fluctuates. Like, yesterday, the worst part was I sold my first big piece of art. It was, like, 40 inches by 30 inches.
Those are fun.
Yeah, no. Worst part was shipping that thing. I hated every second of it. It was stupid. So, it's only for, like, $75, too. So, it was a lot of time, effort.
Yeah.
Put into that. So... but how you get motivated is like I do this full time, so it's just like you just got to get it done. It's just one of those things.
Oh, I forgot about that part of the question. I didn't even see that.
Go ahead, and then I'll go.
Oh, I'm not motivated right now.
She's like, I don't. We just trip over it.
I don't know. Again, you just kind of go through different seasons, and I'm not in a season where I'm like motivated. But I mean, I think. Like something I tell people all the time, especially people who are really overwhelmed by their death piles, I just say, like, just take what's on top and list it, and if you can do the one, then probably you'll have the energy to like do at least another, and you just kind of get in a rhythm, it's just getting started. That's hard. And then obviously as you're listing stuff, like the more consistent you are with it, things will sell. And obviously that's what's motivating is to like see things that you sold recently sell and realize, oh, like when I do the work, it pays off. And so I think that doing like kind of forcing myself to sit down and list and just take top thing off my pile, it has been motivating to see sales pick up. So
yeah, I think the organization aspect for me too, and I agree with Jess. My husband's like, you just bought 100 Longaberger baskets and we can't walk in the shed. Like, what are you doing? Like, no, it's a good deal. So yeah, probably the organization. And for me, the worst part's like restraining myself, the FOMO and not buying things when I know I haven't. But as far as like the motivation, I'm going to assume you're meaning like listing, shipping, that type of stuff. Is that what you were assuming? I agree with Becky. You just got to start. And normally once you make yourself start, you can kind of, once you do a couple, it gets a little bit easier to do. All right, Mr. Jeremy, hello. He said, everybody makes mistakes and it's good to learn from them. Can you tell us about a mistake you made that you learned a lot from?
Well, I've made too many mistakes and trying to pick one is proving to be difficult. Man, it's like it should be so easy to think of something.
Do you want me to switch you spots?
Yes. Okay. If you have one, let me ruminate on this.
Okay. I think my biggest mistake was selling something that said Velcro in it, and then I did sell like anything I got a Vero for. Like I sold. Well, I did. Another thing is I listed some Chico stuff. And when you use their stock photos, I did use a stock photo, but I used it as the last photo. They'll still find it and they will remove your listing without even telling you. So you lost your description and you lost your title and you lost all of your pictures, like unless you saved them on your phone, which I don't save anything once I list it. So yeah, that was probably my biggest mistake because I did have a lot of Chico stuff that I listed and lost everything.
Okay, I think I remember one of mine. So I sold a Marc Jacobs bag for a friend of mine and I didn't put enough on shipping. And not only did I not put enough on shipping, but I forgot that even if it wasn't like global shipping, but it sold to someone in Puerto Rico. And so I don't know, you guys are eBay pros, correct me if I'm wrong. Like that's not considered global. It just
it's still US. It's just a
lot. Ton for it. So yeah. I don't know how much I charge for shipping. I already didn't charge enough, and then it went to Puerto Rico, and I was like, oh my god, like I have to pay so much to ship this thing out. It's so big and bulky. But I shipped it out. The person reached out and was like, this is a fake, and I was like, it's not a fake. Like my friend bought it at Nordstrom, and I mean, she didn't have like the receipts and stuff, but I was like, she got it at Nordstrom. Like, And then I didn't hear anything from this person, but like a year later, not a year later, but when I was like going back through my eBay seller thingamabout, like where you can see all the sales that you've made, I realized that they actually like took my money from that sale because they considered it counterfeit or something like that. But I didn't get any like notification or just they didn't reach out to me at all. So what I learned from that too was, one, make sure you're charging enough for shipping, or you got to do the calculated shipping or whatever for especially bigger things. But two, just look at your records more carefully and make time to like look at that stuff. Because by the time I saw that, it was way too late. I tried reaching out and eBay was like, this is from months ago. Like, we're not going to do anything about it. And I was like, cool, you guys are awesome. So
see, my biggest mistake was probably in the beginning buying stuff that I thought was cool and not researching if it actually sells. Because then I ended up with a ton of stuff that I still have actually to this day that I'm going through right now. Like years later, like I still got it, and it's just because I did not do my research. So what I learned is actually best thing if you don't know if it sells or not, get yourself one out, run a quick comp real quick and see if it does, and if it doesn't, leave it behind. Even know how cool it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say learning a lot about buying lots. I'm trying to be more selective, almost like Julian said, where I feel like I have to list everything. And I said this in my video yesterday, like I sold 8 plates for $8. Like that's not worth packing breakables. And I need to just like let that. So I'm still learning from that mistake. I'm still working on that because it's just my tendency to want to get the most money out of it. But in reality, is my time's worth more than $1 a plate. So I need to, especially as I'm going through my death pile, let some of that stuff go. And somebody did ask me, and I answered in my comments, why don't I donate it to get write-off receipts? One, most of the thrifts around me, I despise them. They mark stuff up way too high, and I don't particularly like them. And I spend enough. I don't really need the write-offs. I'm really great at spending money and balancing my ins and outs in business. And I would rather give it to somebody that like I'm giving it to a person, they're going to resell it or distribute it out to the community. I would rather do that than get the financial gain. Because the reality is it's not worth much. And to me, it's worth it more to give it to somebody that I know is going to use it or they're going to profit from it. And, it'll help them better their life. I would much rather do that. I'm in the process. And Richard, I haven't told you this. I'm emptying out the loft. They have taken half of my filters out of my loft. It has taken 2 full truckloads. And I'm cutting my loss of $1,000 and giving it to them free because it's been years. They're not selling. And it would be nice to have some space that's not in my walking area. And I could move stuff up there. So no bonfire. Like I said, I'm gonna give it to them. No bonfire. I mean, we have bonfires, but not with filters. Raining Retro, North Carolina. Which marketplaces do you sell on and which is your favorite?
I sell on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace. I sold like 6 things over 2 years on Tradesy, so I don't know if that counts. Kitizen. I started on Whatnot not too long ago. I mean, it's like even though Poshmark has just been going through quite the identity crisis, it's probably still my favorite. It's just so easy. It's so fast to list on there, and then shipping is such a breeze. So and then there's all of these like great Chrome extensions and things that you can get to like just be really super hands off. But, these different things will do the work for you. So it's like I'm sending offers and I'm like following people, but I'm not like this Chrome extension is. And so I'm making sales that way. So I would still say Poshmark for me.
Yeah, I think I mentioned I sell eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, all those places. My favorite right now is Whatnot because it's like you have your stuff, you have it all like 50 items, and then you do your little live auction, and then they're all gone. And you just ship them off. And like that whole pile is gone to a new home. Yeah, I mean, I might not get as much as I would if I listed it on Poshmark or eBay, but I'm doing vintage right now, and I'm trying to get rid of all of my vintage. So that was nice.
Yeah.
I actually only sell on eBay and Mercari. We just started, and I just like eBay. I think it's just because I've been doing it for a while, and that's when I started with, and that's what I'm good at. So, and it's the easiest for me for some reason, but it's really not too terribly easy, but it is easy for me. So,
yeah, I think whatever you start on a lot of times is because you kind of master that before moving on. eBay is my favorite because eBay is where I make the most money. But I had like $600 in Poshmark sales this week, which for Poshmark is absolutely amazing. I have like the most pending funds I think I've ever had on Poshmark. I'm like, oh, this is nice. And that was because of one big $400 sale. But I had 10 Posh sales go out today. So it was a lot. So Posh is probably coming in a close second there for me.
Yeah.
Mercari and Etsy are super, super slow for me right now. So I would have to say eBay followed by Posh. List Perfectly question. I use Sell Similar daily on eBay, but now all of my listings are in the List Perfectly catalog. I'm not sure how to do that. Delist, relist, or Sell Similar and edit the ID on List Perfectly.
So I would say, and those of you who sell on eBay probably know better, but like, I get it. Like, it's hard to kind of break that habit of how you start your listings. And I know I talked to a lot of people who were so resistant to the idea of like starting listings on List Perfectly because they like to do Sell Similar on eBay. So I totally get that.
That's me.
Is that you? I know. Yeah. I've talked to a lot of people like that too. So honestly, like what you could do is you could just make the listing on eBay and then copy the listing from eBay to List Perfectly so that it's in there, and then it's in List Perfectly, and then you can send it out to everywhere else. That's probably the easiest way to do it, I think.
I don't use List Perfectly. I use another one, so I will default.
yeah, I actually have no idea.
And I do Sell Similar, and then I copy everything into the List Perfectly catalog, and then I cross-post
You're copying and pasting?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I list it.
Yes,
I do Sell Similar on eBay, and then I just cross-post it into List Perfectly catalog, and then from there we put it out to the platform. And that's just stuck in your ways. I know when Clara was on here with us, she said there's a way to Sell Similar starting on List Perfectly, but I don't know how to do that. She said it was easy to like merge a Sell Similar listing. I'll have to get Clara back on, or I would reach out to List Perfectly too, because they're super helpful, and ask them, because I think there's a way to get the Sell Similar into List Perfectly. Like you kind of do the same, but I'm like an old person set in my ways, and it works for me, and I'm just keeping on doing it because that's what I do. Miss Michelle, when listing, you mentioned last week, what? Hold on. You don't really do what? Oh, over describe and over package each item and has a return in 2 years. Do you think time is better spent on listing? So I think she's talking about, I said, I don't do descriptions. I think that's what she's talking about. So do you think it's better to like do more descriptions and like extra packaging, or do you think that would be time better spent listing stuff?
I think that you are very fortunate to have not gotten a return, but like crazy is crazy. And like sometimes even with all the descriptions, like and I hope to God that this doesn't happen to you, but there are people who like you have described everything that you can under the sun, and they still find a reason as to why this is wrong and they are right and they want to return the item. And so rather than protect myself against like the 1 or 2% of bad buyers out there, I'd rather churn out as many listings as I can and like maybe not do as much per listing and not do as much per like item that I'm shipping out, so that I can get more things out. Just understanding that returns are part of the business. It's just part of what we signed up for, and I'm okay with it. I don't take it personally. I return stuff too. Like I get stuff and I'm like, I don't like this anymore. Not on eBay. I don't do that with the eBay people, but like in the store, like I'll get it home and I'm like, I don't really want this, and I'll take it back, and it's not because I hate the store or anything. It's just I changed my mind. So I would recommend just trying to get more done versus like doing everything perfectly, because even if you do things perfectly, someone's gonna still slip through the cracks. So
yeah.
I would say for like the description for like eBay, I have templates set up where so I'll use the title for the first sentence of my list of the description, and then the template will be like, this is a size whatever, and then it'll have the measurement already in there, like from underarm to underarm and from top of the shoulder to the bottom, and then I'll just plug in the numbers. And then it says either like brand new with tags or in pre-owned condition, no flaws. And then it says like comes from a clean and smoke-free home. And then that's it. So all I have to do is plug in the numbers and the title. So it takes me literally like less than a minute to do a description for an ad. And I do all clothing. So I pretty much have shirts and pants. That's my templates. So yeah, I don't spend much time with the description.
Yeah, I don't over describe anything. Like, it's lucky that it has the title in there, because that's usually what it is. If there's any fault,
It makes you put that, though.
Yeah, it makes you put that. If it wasn't on there, it would be totally empty.
Empty.
Yeah, so I don't, but if you do and it works for you, then I say continue doing what you're doing. But for me personally, I would rather just pump out as much listings as I can. And I kind of agree that you're going to have somebody always, like, I'm 2 years with no returns. That's really good. Whatever you're doing is working. That's solid. But for me, I'm not going to really describe so much, but over packaging, I like recently been doing a lot of electronics. I overpack those because sometimes I really think that they do get damaged from like a hit in the, they return it and I'm like, it's fine. But I guarantee you something on the inside probably got jiggled around. So I overpackage them a lot. But I don't think there's anything wrong with overpackaging as long as you're not, glass. I overpackage glass because I'm scared to death of it. I ship like
I use so much bubble wrap.
Yeah.
I use so much bubble wrap, it's not funny.
So, I don't think that's
and me, I think it's better to just churn them out. I don't think we specifically said this. Carol wants to know if we do use List Perfectly, do we start on eBay, or if Posh is whatever your main platform, do you start there, or do you start your listings on List Perfectly?
I've just gotten used to starting in List Perfectly, and then I push out to everywhere else.
We do use List
And
Perfectly.
Jess doesn't use it.
Yeah.
I use something else.
No,
Kayla
you're fine.
uses it.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
You can tell them what you use. We don't know. We don't care.
Oh, I use
It's me
Vendu.
who must not be named. No, I'm joking.
I already
Yeah,
said it.
no. I'm not like at all exclude. No. Yeah, tell them what you use because they might be using it. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, tell them.
Oh, I use Vendu and I start on Poshmark. I don't do it through Vendu because it's just easier to list on Poshmark, as Becky said. So I just list there and then I import everything and then spread it out.
Mm-hmm.
We start on eBay and then spread it out.
Yeah, and I start on eBay as well. Sandra said she wants to start a YouTube channel to document a journey. She has no clue where to start. Any advice? I've watched some YouTube videos, but they're clear as mud. Thanks for any help. I'm going to take this question down. So basically, any advice for starting a YouTube channel?
You just press record. you just press record, and you have to kind of get used to seeing yourself on camera first. Like I said at the very beginning, when I was introducing myself, I teach choir, and the number one thing I hear from my students is when they hear recordings of themselves, they're like, "That's not what I sound like." I'm like, "That's exactly what you sound like." It's so hard for us to see ourselves that way when we're used to being on this side of ourselves, and so I think you hit record, you just kind of get used to like being on the camera and seeing what that's like. And to be honest, everything else, it's like you kind of just learn by doing it. It's very similar to reselling, like learning how to source, learning how to list, learning how to ship. Like you just kind of learn how to do all that by doing it. Yes, there are great tutorials and stuff online to teach you how to do it, but there's nothing that takes the place of actually just like being in the trenches and doing it yourself. And I think YouTube is the exact same way. Like you press record, you kind of look and see like, what do I not like about this? What do I want to take out? What do I want to speed up? And out of necessity comes, you learning how to do the things that you want to do to make the kinds of videos that you want to make. So I would say just get started, even though you don't feel ready, because you'll never feel ready. So it's better to just start than wait till you feel like you're good to go.
Yeah, that's really good advice. And I'd also say if you're just starting out, do like shorter videos because people don't know you yet. And they're they're not going to watch you for like 20, 40 minutes. So, I mean, that's the best thing I can think of, because that's kind of where I started. And I mean, I'm not anywhere near where you guys are in subscribers, but I know on TikTok they like shorter videos. So
I was going to say on TikTok you're kicking all of our butt, I think.
But yeah, shorter videos are definitely, I mean, that's what I personally like, is shorter videos, unless I know you and I want to watch you for a long, long time. But yeah, if you're just starting out, I'd recommend shorter videos.
Yeah, I think both that was excellent advice. And then I would say, do what you like. So like if you're starting out, make sure you're like what you're doing. So don't try to do it to think that's going to gain views or something like that, because if you're in it for the long haul, you're going to stop. If you're not liking like what you're doing on camera, like I like to resell, so I like going to yard sales, my favorite thing. So I have a yard sale, you know. But if I was like basket weaving, but I was like, basket weaving gets a lot of views, I would have lasted 6 months because I don't like basket weaving. So just have fun with it is like the biggest thing. Is make sure you're having a good time doing it, and don't beat yourself up about mistakes, what you look like. Don't think about any of that stuff. Just hit record, go for it. And then the feedback you get back from the comments. Some going to be just straight hate. Some are actually pretty good criticism and my starting videos. So don't take it to heart. Be like, oh, I should add music there or something like that. And then just kind of learn. But the best thing is just go ahead and start and have fun.
Yeah, and like I used only my phone for well over a year. You can do everything with just your phone. I still edit from my phone. I don't over edit. Yeah, I agree with what everybody else said. Like go look at some of the channels you like. Go look at their first videos. It'll make you feel better. I guarantee you, mine's still up there. It's sideways. Like just go look at, like, sort it from oldest to newest. Look at those videos. You'll see like where we started. You know, it takes time to get good at it. I edit with KindMaster that I think is easy. Find something that's easy for you. I don't over edit. I'm not a big editor, but you might want to try and do that. Becky, are you still doing your training on YouTube, or is that on hold right now?
I know. Well, I wasn't over the summer because I was traveling so much. I have a course on like growing your YouTube reselling channel, your reselling YouTube channel. That's what I meant to say. And like the course is still there, but I was doing like month-long mentorship groups with it. We'd meet like once a week for 4 weeks. That I've put a pause on, and I don't know if I'm going to go back to it just because I don't know. It's just been taking a lot of my time and energy. And like Julian was saying, like, I think it was good advice for every aspect of your life. Like if you don't really enjoy something, don't do it, you know? And I did enjoy mentorship groups, and I really enjoyed like meeting everyone and being with them and stuff like that. But like, did I enjoy it more than spending time with my family? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know, as we get older, like we really have to just make smart choices about where our time goes. And so right now it's kind of on hiatus. The course is still there to take, but yeah. Also, I'm like dying because Restyle Secrets said that her husband makes basket weaving videos.
I'm going to watch them.
Well, some people like basket
some
weaving.
people
Do
like
what
it.
you like.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll probably watch it though, because I like watching stuff like that.
But you don't like doing it.
I think it would be cool to watch basket weaving videos, and then I'd get a new hobby, and then like
You can sell them on the side of the road down here in Charleston.
Yes, they were. I should have stopped. I'm gonna drive to Charleston one day just for the baskets, just for the sweetgrass baskets.
Make a YouTube video about it. There you go.
I will. I drove 8 hours to get baskets. Can you see it now? All right. Scrappy Stamper says, I have a large Looney Tunes item that was broke in transit and returned. Would you sell it cheap for someone who loves Tweety to repair?
Yes. I mean, you know, make back what you can. I would maybe try to sell it locally so that someone could just pick it up versus like trying to ship that thing again. I don't know what it is, but that sounds intense. Yeah, I mean, you'd like for it to go to a new home, so.
Yeah, I don't sell stuff like that, so I'm not the right person to ask.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with Becky.
What she said.
That's why I'm on the hot spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
A large Looney Tunes item that broke. That means it's fragile. I'm not shipping it twice because it's going to break again. It's already been compromised. I'm done with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had them ship it back, honestly, because I don't want to ship fragile, broken things back and forth. So I probably would have just refunded and let them keep it, unless it was like a small break, in which case then yes. If it was a small break and easily repaired, I would probably repair it myself. Look, it's here because I broke more stuff. The UV super glue pen light, like, it's amazing. I just fixed the Disney $400 haunted house thing with it that I did not break. It came broke. I bought it broke. But yeah, so I probably would fix it myself is what I would do. Sonny wants a dolphin. Yeah, I haven't uploaded. I have the new Dalton super chats, but with him getting sick, I haven't uploaded them yet. So we have to have the dolphin for one more week, and then I'll have Dalton up next week. All right, here you go, Sonny. Thank you. Super chat. Sunkissed. Hello, thank you, ma'am. Do you all keep a spreadsheet of where you got your items and how much you got paid? And glad Dalton is feeling better. Me too.
Yeah, I saw someone said it in the chat. Bradford as well said they use the free spreadsheet provided by Ginger Marvin. I've heard great things about that. Because I already use List Perfectly, I use List Perfectly as my inventory management. So in there I put like where I got it, how much I paid for it. And then I like it because it'll spit out, like when I put in the information of how much things sold for and fees and all that kind of stuff, it'll spit out my profit for that item. And then it'll create like sales reports for me through List Perfectly. So I've just been using that and loving it.
Yeah, I use, I have a spreadsheet for my sales. And then for my inventory, I use Poshmark because they have the inventory thing. And then, I have my prices in there that I paid. And then the price that I have it listed at. So I use Poshmark for that.
No. I am a big like money in, money out, and I recently just got a bookkeeper. So I now really don't pay attention. I just, so that's the answer to that is no, I have no spreadsheets.
My answer is the same as Julian's. Absolutely not. I am anti-spreadsheet. But I have heard Chris and Kathy Ginger Marvin's is good. And I think I'm underutilizing List Perfectly. Clara told us this when she was on, and Becky's like reinforcing that statement. But yeah. So. Oh, let me give you your dolphin. Here you go. Thank you. Super chat. All right. What did you ship out today that made you the most excited?
All right, I saw this question come in and I was looking at my phone because I was like, what did I even sell? I sold 3 things. One was like $15, one was $21, and one was $27.90. So I guess that one, it was a Talbot's dress, and I'm like medium excited about it, but it's sold. So we're going to ship it.
I just had a Whatnot sale this afternoon. Oh, nice. So I sold 42 items out of 48. Ooh. No, 45. Nice. Awesome. So yeah, I didn't sell 3 things. But the most expensive item I sold was a Emilio Pucci. I don't know how you say it. Is it Pucci or Pucci?
Does anybody? Listen, the pronunciation, please hate me. Okay.
It's vintage. It was a slip dress. Very beautiful. Had lace over the chest area. So I sold that for $39. So that was the most exciting thing I sold today.
Nice.
All right, I was just looking. We did sell some golf clubs, $85. Not super exciting, but good sale. But the most exciting, because I have a thing about small coolers, like Coleman coolers. I buy too many and I sell not that many, but I finally sold one. Well, not just one. I've sold a couple more. And I sold the little Oscar. It just sold like before I came on here for $15 plus shipping. So they do sell. You got to get them for $1 though to make any money.
All right. I think I didn't have much exciting go out today. Yesterday was insane. We did 60 boxes. With Dalton being sick, we did not make it to the post office. So my post office really hated me today because my daughter walked in with 70 boxes.
Did They told me to leave.
So yesterday was crazy. Today, here, I think, and this is a viewer too. These were really gorgeous, like Christmas ornaments. And she got the 2 of them for $45, but they were like reverse painted. They were gorgeous. They were big ornaments. Deb got those. I don't know if she's in chat. But those were, I think, my funnest thing I shipped out today. All right, I'm going to grab one more question, Julie, and then I see we got another super chat. This is for Becky and Jess because they're the only 2 selling on Whatnot. So can you speak on your experience with Whatnot, pros, cons, and tips?
I feel like, Jess, you may have been on there a little bit longer than me, so you probably have even more experience. But I like it and I don't. Pros and cons. I think the biggest pro, like Jess said, is you move a lot of inventory at once, which is really cool. And I think a pro too is that you get to interact in the moment, just like doing a YouTube live or something just like this, which is really cool. The cons, there are many. One, things sell for a lot less than they would if you were to list them yourself. But obviously, you're putting in much less time and effort to sell that item. You're not photographing it in the same way that you would to list it. You're not, putting in a description. You're not cross-listing it to all these places. So you're saving a lot of time, but you are making most likely a lot less on that item than you would if you were to list it yourself. There are like things that people do to, I don't know, essentially it's kind of like a buy me a coffee. But what I hate about it is like people still have to pay for shipping on those items. So you have to still send something to that person because Whatnot is looking for that label to get tracked. So I just feel bad because it's like someone wants to be really sweet and support you by buying you a coffee or doing whatever, but they have to pay for for shipping on that item. And I don't know. So they're still in the growing stages. Some people are like, Whatnot is the future and everything else is going to die. Like, I'm not in that camp. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with it. I think it would be nice if it were here to stay. It's a nice, like, supplementary platform. But yeah, and then tips wise, I think the biggest tip that I have to really kind of like meditate on too is to not start things too low, especially if you have something that is worth like a decent amount. And I have seen people start things at like $15 and I'm like, no one's going to bid on that, but it only takes one bid and then it's gone. So I think just making sure that you're not like just setting the bar too low for your items and then you're kind of sad about how little they sell for.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything she said. Also, I was going to say one of the pros I have are getting stuff to other people. Like I'm able to move my vintage stuff and not like just give it away or give it to, Goodwill or whatever. And I'm not going to sit on it for years. Like I have been. I've had my vintage storage unit for 3 years and like finally I'm done. And Whatnot is like perfect timing that this came around. So I can get rid of this all for $3. I start all of my auctions at $3. And then I get it to people who are actually vintage resellers and they can buy it for $3. So that's a big pro to me is getting it to other resellers so that they can make the money that I could have potentially made if I wasn't so lazy and, would have actually listed this stuff. Yeah. But I had 6,000 items. So, you gotta cut a girl some slack here. Yeah. The con, I guess, is you have to have a huge following somewhere else, I feel like, to get people to actually come into your shows. So you have to like promote yourself, like put yourself like on YouTube. People have to do YouTube videos, and like Becky does a good job because she has that YouTube following. I tried to do it on TikTok. I tried to do promo videos, and if you say anything about another app on TikTok, they immediately like won't show your video to anybody.
Watch it.
Yeah. So nobody sees your video. So it's like a waste of time. And then the shipping part is another con with like what Becky was saying. I wish we could offer like free shipping because I did have one lady who bought like 8 coats and it ended up being $80 for her with Whatnot shipping. And she's like, I like have my own shipping label I can give you. Can I just give it to you? And I was like, I can't do it that way. Yeah. I mean, you'll still be charged the $80. Yeah. So yeah, that's that was pretty bad. And then just one tip real quick is if you get on Whatnot, build yourself a following. Like go to other people's shows and just like other people may say, you know, go follow everybody in the chat or whatever. And anybody who wants to, they can shout out their shows and just shout out your show and just get that following, because once you get the following, then the people will show up.
Mm-hmm.
Do either of you do giveaways?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I feel like that's a necessity sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, no. And do you guys feel like cataloging it and listing it a few days before the show is important, or do you just run them?
So, you know, like what Jess was saying, if you don't have a following somewhere else and you're just getting started on Whatnot, I think it does make it hard for people to come to your show if they look in your store really quickly and they don't see anything. If you already have a following, people will be there no matter what. But like I will go to random people's shows and just look at their stores really quickly to see if they've got good stuff. And if not, I leave, you know? So I don't know. I think it helps, especially if you know you have good stuff, especially then I think it would be really helpful and worthwhile to get that stuff loaded into your store. And at least you don't have to have a picture, but at least like say what it is. And then also people can pre-bid and stuff like that. So that's what I
they can pre-bid if you have the catalog up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm planning on putting the catalog up. Like I said, I think I'll start it next week. I've got stuff on the counter back there. I've already been like setting aside.
Yeah.
Do you guys, how many items do you guys feel is good for a show? I think Katie told me she would do at least 30. Do you guys agree with that?
I would say, yeah, 30 to 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do any more than 50 because you're going to go like 2 hours and people get bored.
Yeah.
Like they don't,
Yeah.
I mean, not that you're boring or anything, but people are
but I mean, that's a long time. Yeah, that's a long time. I agree. Okay.
Yeah.
Hamlet says, sometimes I put priority mail instead of first class in the listing by mistake. Once the sales come through, do you still ship it priority or do you switch it to first class? And if you switch it to first class, will eBay ding you?
So Hamlet, I'm going to tell you something, but don't tell anyone else. Okay. So I feel
It's
like
between us 500 years. Don't tell
between
anybody
us here. And those of you watching this 8 months from now, don't tell anyone. I do that all the time. Like not all the time. I've gotten so much better about it because now what I do when I when I bring stuff home, I will open up List Perfectly and I will just write down what it is and I will weigh it, or I'll do that like right before I list, but I'll weigh it and now I'm much more accurate. But before, or even now, if like for whatever reason I'm off, I have done that where I have said that something is going to go out priority mail, but actually it could be first class. And I change it and nothing has happened to me. And I've shared that before in my own YouTube videos and people are like, people are going to get really mad at you because they thought I was going to come priority mail and it came first class. No one has gotten mad at me. Like no one has said anything because it still gets there in a really fast time. So I don't know, like that's not the right answer. I'm just telling you though, for real, like what I have done in the past and letting you know that nothing bad has happened. Take that with a huge grain of salt. And again, don't tell anyone, but yeah, I don't know.
For Becky, I have a story that I actually was called out one time.
Oh no.
Because I did send something that they paid priority for and I sent it first class. And I just waited and just said, oh, this can go first class. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the guy or girl, whoever it was, they called me out. So immediately, you know, that made me like go crazy. And so I never did that again. But I do the opposite where I say I will ship it first class and then it ends up being like over £1 and I have to ship it priority. So I do that all the time. But
for the opposite of what I do.
Yes.
No, and I mean, and it's really good that you share that because I guess there are people who care about that kind of stuff. I mean, for me personally, when I get stuff in the mail, I never look at like, how did it come to me? Was it first class? Was it prime? Like, I don't know. And I get the fact that like they paid a certain amount and then you know, but then also on the flip side, yeah, sometimes I charge too little and I have to cover some. So it all balances out, but not for that individual, I guess. So.
But eBay does not ding you.
Yeah, they don't.
I actually probably haven't done that. If they pay priority and somehow I've messed it up, I usually still send a priority, but I will switch between like UPS and priority a good bit. If the shipping time is the same, then because I ship a lot of big items, so and if I accidentally put priority and it goes UPS, I've never had anybody say, "Hey, this came UPS" or something. So, but as long as the shipping time is the same, sometimes it gets a little bit weird when it's further out west. Like, UPS is actually slower than, or one of them is significantly slower, then I'll use the one that I picked previously. But no, I've actually never went from priority to first class. I go to first class to priority a lot because a lot of times I mess up. Not recently.
Yeah, I don't switch them if I do that. But a lot of times for me, like if it's over $50, I want to ship it priority. So I have the $100 insurance on it, even if it's like first class weight wise, because first class doesn't come with insurance. But I do, like Julian said, I do switch between priority and UPS and FedEx, especially with the bigger items. I might have listed as priority, but it's like $50 cheaper to ship it on UPS, then I will switch it. I think the only way you can get dinged on eBay is if it doesn't arrive by the time you promised. So like if first class ends up, like for me to California, first class might take 6 days and it's promised to the customer in 3. That might be the only time I think you can get dinged. So the big thing is however you ship it gets it there by whatever date it's promised. And I don't think it'd be an issue unless like somebody was getting it for a birthday, like a birthday gift or something like that. I had somebody, and it was a first class item. It took 12 days last month. Ooh. And they were pissed. And of course it was a present. The one that decides to take 12 days, they did pay for first class. I had it, advertised as first class. 11 days it took to get there. So that would be the only way I think you could get dinged. Wanda, $5 super chat, said, "Thank you guys for all the great info every week. Hope Dalton feels better soon." And she said, "Becky, you rock." She loves your transparency. Dalton's better. No fever. I said at the beginning. I'll say it again. Still, it's so funny. I don't think he's ever had a hoarse voice, and it's really cute. I know he's sick, but he's got this little hoarse voice, and he feels better. So he's like trying to, play and be loud, and he can't be loud because he doesn't have much of a voice. But I'm like super glad the fever's gone, because fevers always really scare me. So the fevers are gone. He's ready to go back, but I think the school would send him right back to me with the way he sounds right now. So he'll probably have to wait until next week to go back. But thank you so much. Here is your dolphin, Miss Wanda. Super chat. Reigning Retro, North Carolina. For those of you on multiple platforms, do you put everything everywhere or just some items on certain places?
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to respond to something in the chat first. So Red Cardinal Treasure said they had a seller do that, go from priority to flat rate, priority to first class, and they got really upset. I will say, if there's like a big difference, I'll send a partial refund. I just wanted to throw that out there. But
as far as like money wise,
yeah. If it's like they paid like $12 for shipping and it actually was $4, I will, reach out and be like, hey, like I'm gonna send you some money because it was not actually that much.
Yeah.
For this question, I put everything everywhere that I can. So like I saw on Kitizen, you can't sell men's stuff on Kitizen, so I won't put men's stuff over there. But like, even if it's something that I'm like, this is only going to sell on eBay, I'll still put it everywhere because I'm surprised constantly. Like things sell all the time on random platforms that they absolutely should not. And that's,
I agree.
Yeah. I'm like, why is this pair of like old man pants selling on Poshmark? Like this is supposed to be a trendy platform and it's for like 80-year-old men, but it's like, that's why I cross list it everywhere. Like I don't pick and choose. That takes a lot of energy too, so.
Yeah, I cross list to everywhere. And yeah, I'm like Becky. I sold like some sheet sets on Poshmark, and I was like, I thought this was only a clothing app, but I'm glad I put them there because they sold for like $100, and I've had them on eBay forever. So, yeah, I just post everything everywhere.
Yeah, what we do cross post it's in Macari, it's everything, or we try to if we forget.
Yeah, so I put everything on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay. And I agree. I was talking about this on my last video. I sell more non-clothing items on Posh than I do clothing items. Like my big sale was all glass paperweights. It was not anything clothing related. The only platform we limit is Etsy, and that's because Etsy, it has to be vintage, so it has to be 20 years or older. I will tell you, my mom cross posts and doesn't listen to me, so there might be some non-20-year-old things on Etsy. I'm not gonna lie. She's 70 and she does what she wants, and I pay her and just let her do what she's doing, because somebody's like, that is not vintage, and it's sold on Etsy. So I tell her, but she doesn't always listen. And I only put stuff over $20 on Etsy because they have the 20 cent per listing fee. So I don't want to put lower cost items over on Etsy. I'm not selling much on Etsy, to be honest. And I think it's because I don't keyword and tag. So I might have to reevaluate and either stop or put some time and effort in the keyword and tagging where it makes it actually worth it. Otherwise, at this point, I haven't been selling much. Like the first month I did good, but the last couple months has not been great. So I might have to reevaluate my Etsy. Allison wants to know if any of us use a wrinkle releaser for our clothes, and if so, do we have a favorite brand?
Allison, I have moved to I feel like I steam more than I wash, like in the washing machine. So no, because the steaming gets the wrinkles out.
I thought that said like wrinkles for your face. And I was like, oh, I do use a cream. Do you guys want me to tell you what cream I use? But that wasn't the question. So no, I go to the bins a lot. So I do wash everything that goes that comes from the bins, because you never know what happens in the bins. And then I have a bag sale I go to that I get a lot of stuff from. And a lady told me a not so pretty story about some guy living in the little hut or whatever they call it, where
like
they
the donation hut.
Yeah.
Wow,
So definitely wash all of that. So yeah, I wash all of my things and then just dry them.
Mine would be my dryer, Samsung. My best one, because it's wrinkled, throw it in there for a couple seconds on tumble dry. Take a picture of it.
I do not use any. I did get a new dryer that has the steam function, but I've never used it. But I would have to have a pretty expensive piece of clothing to put it in the dryer and try to figure out the steam function. I just smooth it out with my hands. I don't use wrinkle releaser. I'm bad. Cookie said, with items that are not moving, how long do you wait before you pull them and relist them?
So it kind of depends on platform. Like on Poshmark, again, I use this thing called Posher VA, and you can have it just automatically relist stuff for you. I think if it's been over 60 days, you can literally press a button and they'll do like 45 at a time or something like that. So that's really nice. I don't have to sit there and like do it. I just push a button. On eBay, I was really good for a while of like, looking at everything that was going to end. I would end the listing, I would sell similar, and I would like do all that. I really fell off the wagon with that. But I don't like pull things. Like for me, once I've like taken the picture and it's in my bins, I'm not pulling that thing out to like take more pictures, or I don't know. It's like I'll wait 3 years for that thing to sell, and it will sell. Like someone will buy it at some point. I'm not like trying to make it any prettier than it already is, so yeah.
I use a one shop, it's called, for Poshmark, and they relist everything that's stale, 90 days old or older. So that's really nice. Does
that mess it up for you guys on List Perfectly and Vendu?
I don't know. I haven't.
I mean,
I don't
kind of. And so, but like when I end things, it'll show if it didn't really end. Like I have a very specific like little pop-up box in the right-hand corner for all of the tabs that open up that says like your listing has ended, but if it's in red, that means it hasn't. So that means I got to go in and find it, which I'm fine doing, because I would rather have the ease of relisting something quickly, like they do 45 at a time, versus like me going in to List Perfectly and like finding things. You know what I mean? Like
I have one shop. So I assume I could do that as well on Poshmark. So maybe because I'm already paying for it. So maybe I need to utilize that. And then I guess if it sold on Posh, it wouldn't really matter. It would be if it sold somewhere else. I would have to find the new Posh listing, I guess.
That's when it is, yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, never really. Everything that I've listed is still there. So I like if it pops up and I see it and something's wrong with it, then I'll do it. Like, I'll go through like 20 listings a day. Like, hey, that hasn't sold in a while. And if it looks good, it looks good and it's done. But if there's something wrong, like the price looks weird or like the shipping's super high, I'll go in there and take a look at it. I mess up. So, but other than that, I really haven't pulled anything to Kayla, me, her now are both full time. So we might do that because some of the stuff I bought early on, seriously, trash, bad. Like, doesn't need to be even. It's bad stuff, and I didn't know what I was doing, So some of that will have to be pulled in, like maybe a yard sale. We're having a big yard sale coming up here next month, so we might do it before then. But that would be at like the 3-year mark, pretty sure. And it's pretty bad stuff. I have no confidence it'll sell. None.
I don't pull them relist typically. I tried it with like 100 on eBay like 3 weeks ago, and nothing sold. So that did not put any fire under me to do anymore. I was like, okay, it didn't work. Either the stuff's crappy or it's going to sell when it'll sell, and I would rather list new items. Judy, listen, I'm going to put Judy up and I'm going to call myself out. I drink Coke Zero, and my daughter bought regular Coke. That's the only reason I have a regular Coke in my hand tonight, because I needed caffeine because I've been staying up with Dalton. But so you might not like me anymore because I do normally drink. I normally have 1 Coke Zero a day. That's what I normally do. Jake, the thrifter, how does everyone motivate themselves to list, and how many listings do you currently have?
I've just tried to get into a rhythm of like doing a certain number a day. So like right now, all I can handle, and sometimes I can't even handle that, is 5. So I just say like, I have to do 5 listings today. And I like don't let myself do things that I want until I have listed those 5. So that's kind of motivating to be like, you can't watch a show or read your book until you have listed 5. And as far as how many listings I have like currently a little over 900 and like 8,000 things waiting to get listed. So I need to up the number from 5 listings a day to like 100, but that's all I can handle right now. So
the only time I'm really motivated is right as soon as I wake up, and I wake up at like 3:30 or 4 in the morning.
Wow,
that's early.
And I said it's an internal alarm clock. It just goes off and I can't sleep. So it's either I sit in my bed and watch my phone, or I go to work. So I convince myself to get up, and I work from home most of the time. So my work doesn't technically start till 6. So I have like two hours at least to get stuff listed. So I get everything listed in the morning, and then the rest of the day I'm like, yep, I can relax.
wow.
Oh, and I have 1,346 listings. That was on Poshmark. eBay I have less because I haven't cross-listed everything.
Motivation, again, like we do this full time, so like motivation is like you just act like it's a job. We wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, not quite 3:30. That I would go back to sleep at, but that's impressive. So we wake up at 5 and we start listing by like 8, but it's just one of those things. It's just it's like a job for us. You get stuff listed, and then you can do whatever you want. If your goal is 20 that day, 50 that day, we really do it by the amount of money we list, not so much the item. But and listings, I think we just hit 2,050, maybe 2,100, somewhere around there, over 2,000.
Yeah, so I'm full time too, and motivation is money in the bank and food in my house. So I have to do it. I'm like Julian too, though. Like if it's a rough day or I don't feel like listing much, I'm gonna list higher dollar items. So I feel like I kind of got the value in there. I have 6,273 items listed currently. My goal event was originally 5,000, and we have like just flown past it. And I don't see throttling it back. So we might even hit 10,000 by the end of the year if my daughter keeps listing the way she's listing. It's only really me and her. My friend Charlene's doing like 25 to 50 a week. And then my daughter-in-law has only been doing like 10 to 20. So I really, like, me and my daughter do it as a full-time thing. And then the other two do it to supplement their income. But yeah, I have to make myself list. It's hard sometimes. It's hard a lot of times. I just like it, but like Becky said earlier, like once I start doing it, I'm fine and I keep going. It's just making myself actually start. Yeah. We get up, we take Dalton to school when he's not sick. So we're still trying to figure out a new schedule because he's in school. So this is completely different to us after 4 years of not having to get up at 6 o'clock and go take him to school. So I was still trying to find my rhythm. Now I'm out of it again and I'm going to have to re-find it. But I was doing my ending because I try to make sure I end everything that's sold on List Perfectly. Like I do my ending of the listings early in the morning, and then I do my listings more like midday and afternoon. So Julian, I know, ships really early too, and I'm like an afternoon shipper too. I'm an afternoon shipper too. So, but that might change as we figure out our rhythm with Dalton being in school for sure.
I ruin their day very early at the post office.
Miss Veronica, $10 super chat. Thank you. She said, "Kat, I'm learning so much, and my eye is getting better due to your research videos. Thank you. You are very, very welcome. I appreciate that. They're fun to do, and I learn a lot too. So it increases my knowledge while I'm helping you guys. So it's like a win-win situation. So yeah, thank you. Here is your Dalton. Super chat. I don't know if any of us can help Chris. I think what Chris is saying is they're finding like trying to find a thermal to match the LG tablet. So does anybody use a tablet to print? I know most thermals will not go to tablets. You would have to at least get like a mini Chrome laptop. I don't know if there are any wireless printers. Maybe people in the chat. Do any of us use a tablet to print? No.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know like Dymo will not go, even to my Chromebook, Dymo wouldn't go. I had to have like an actual computer for Dymo to work. But I know there's some new thermal wireless ones that I would think would work with the tablet. So maybe somebody in the chat can help you, I hope. Listen, this is funny. So Southern Mermaid asked if you thought about calling the postmaster. So we had somebody that didn't know us at our post office. So our regular people know, we give them the scan form, they take the packages, they scan the scan form. The new people, and this we found out later, it was somebody like filling in. She counted every single package, and we're like, this scan form is to help you, not me. And we're like, if this lady's staying, and Brad's like, I'm putting scan form in my pocket. And she can scan every single, I'm like, it's to help you, not me. Like, I'm like, next time, put it in your pocket. But she's gone. It's funny because the people that know us are like, oh, she's not coming back. It's okay. Because, we're trying to help you out here. And yeah. Sandy wants to know where we keep our inventory.
Like Jess's background looks exactly like what's behind this rack of clothes. I have a wall of his bins, and it's a bunch of shelves from, I want to say like Home Depot or something. Yeah, mine's all in my house. So
yeah, I have a basement, unfinished part of my basement that we turned into a room. So I can give you kind of a 360, maybe. No, maybe not. Yeah,
kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
There we go. Look. There's some shoes. So yeah, it's all in this room, and then it's kind of made its way out into the extra bedroom. So that is what my husband is not too happy about, because when his parents come to stay, they're looking at clothing and everything everywhere. So, but they buy from me, so it's okay.
What do you have in there?
Yeah, what's in there?
Mine, some of it is back here, and this is in our front bedroom, and our listing is actually in the other bedroom, but we're actually trying to get all inventory out of the house. We're trying to do like I don't know if we're going to, right now we have one storage unit, climate controlled, I think it's 15 by 25, somewhere in that range, and that thing's full. And so we're trying to like get another one where one would be fully listed stuff and one would be like processing stuff, because I like having like a processing, and we also do YouTube videos on the stuff we buy, so that would also help out also. So I would love for it all to be out of my house, every single bit of it. We would still list here. We would go get it, list it, and because the storage unit's only like, man, less than 30 seconds from my house. Literally, it's like super close.
Wow.
We had one that was, it didn't seem like a long travel. It was only like 4 miles away, but in summer traffic at the beach, it was taking 15, 20 minutes to get there. And it was ridiculous. I mean, just staying still traffic. So we have one super close now, but I would love for it all to be out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Must be rough living by the beach.
Yeah, living by the beach, summers are
It's
rough.
horrible. I'm like 30 minutes from the beach. I'm still pretty close. But my beach is not like pretty beach. We're at the Crook, like the curve of Florida. It's where all the trash like goes. So we don't have the pretty water here. It's like brown Florida water. No pretty water here. Mine's all in sheds. I have 2 sheds, and then I also have, it's kind of like a shed. It's an old canning kitchen attached to my house. I have an old farmhouse. It's about 12 by 24. So 2 12 by 24 areas, and the one that I'm in now is 12 by 40. But the half I'm in is photographing, listing, and shipping. So only half of the 12 by 40 is actually for inventory. And I felt so much better once I got it out of my house, because it was so like, I still do have lingering effects in my spare bedroom, I will not lie, that I need to get through. Like boxes I broke down, I think we talked about this, that never got put back together mysteriously. Those are still there. But other than that, ours is all in sheds. Nancy, I'm assuming this is to me. I mentioned that I use TV boxes to ship paintings. Where do I get them? I actually got them on Amazon. And if you don't know, you can look for Amazon warehouse deals. So that means like the box they're in is damaged or something like that. And I found 3 different sizes of TV boxes that were on warehouse like clearance, because somebody damaged the outer box. And I just went and looked for warehouse deals on them. So when you look on Amazon, it'll say new, and then it'll say used from, and that's the warehouse deal. So if they ding the box or something, or somebody returned them, then you can get them at a discounted price. And that, but also people have told me U-Haul has them. U-Haul also has them. Julian, where did you get your box for your large one you just shipped out?
From Home Depot. I wouldn't advise it.
So they
That's
didn't have
expensive.
like the TV boxes?
No, don't buy them for the Home Depot. They're like $40. I didn't buy that.
They're like $10 or $12 a box, you guys. They're not cheap. You better find expensive art. I'm gonna click this, Julie, and then you can grab the super chat.
Okay.
Dale, my BFF from YouTube, and me and Dale have got to hang out a couple times in person too, which has been great. Glad you're here. All right, Julian. Miss Val, RX Vintage Treasure, said, thank you for all the great info. Glad Dalton is better. And she said, Becky, we are so in tune. Yeah. I'm so tired. I'm feeling your vibe. And she said she's learned great brands from you. Miss Val, I almost wore the shirt. I was wearing the shirt you gave me in my video yesterday. Miss Val sent me I love Simply Southern. And Miss Val has a Simply Southern like outlet buyer. So she got me some Simply Southern shirts. Nice. All right. Here is your dolphin. It's back. Super chat. Hold on, I'm scrolling.
While you're scrolling, I feel like I can't remember the name, like Retro. They've asked a few questions, but I think you were asking me to clarify the list perfectly thing. Hopefully I did. But yeah, like if you end a listing on eBay and sell similar, you do get a new ID number. So I personally do not take the time to take that new ID number and plug it into List Perfectly, because chances are I might have to relist it again and again. So I, again, will just take the time to, when I go to end a listing, there's a setting that you have to press to show the box to say whether or not it fully got ended, like to say that the
It
ending
says listing ended, like
Yeah.
you can close the tab or whatever.
Yeah. So if I don't see it, I just go into all of my active inventory on eBay or whichever platform, and I just check to make sure that it's gone. And yes, it does take a little bit more time, but I have gotten burned by not doing that and having something sell twice on 2 different platforms. So
I see a TV star.
Yes, and he wants you to do a human dolphin.
He made the dolphin sound himself when he co-hosted for Julian a few weeks ago. Tay made it himself.
that's
Tay, thank you for the super chat. Oh, who's going to do it, though? Who's going to make a dolphin sound? Jess, I feel like you could make a human dolphin sound.
I think you'd be so good at it.
I think so too.
I think Jess is the best.
I'm gonna give it a try.
That's a good dolphin.
Perfect.
That was like
It sounded just like Tay's.
I expect $4.99 from you.
Minus 30%. Come on.
Okay. Take what I can get.
Right, I will too. I agree. Sunny Collectibles wants to know, when did you start paying up for larger items? I want to go bigger, but I'm still trying to build capital to not use my own money.
Sunny, I've never gone as big as Kat. I've never spent $800 to make $3,000. Like, I'm not in that league yet, but I mean, there was a long time, I want to say like 2 years, where I refused to pay over like $5 or $6 for anything because I just didn't have the faith or confidence in myself. But, knowledge is power, and the more you learn and the more you watch. And I think too, like the more you handle stuff, I think when you feel good about it, like when you're like, I know that this could sell for X amount. I think one huge tip though is to make sure that when you are looking at comps, that you're not just looking at, what do people have it listed for, or even how much has it sold for recently, but you really want to look at the sell-through rate and make sure that, like, just because you have something that has sold for a good amount in the past, if there's a billion of them listed and only 4 have sold, even if they've sold for a good amount, you're probably going to be sitting on that for a while, and you're going to have a lot more money tied into it than you may be comfortable with. So just kind of make sure you're looking at the sell-through rate too.
Yeah, I would say I'm definitely not in Kat's category where she buys like in large bulk and stuff, or larger items. I wouldn't want to ship those personally. But paying up, I actually started with like retail arbitrage before I went to like Goodwills and stuff. And I paid up for stuff. Like I paid $100 for purses and I made $300, but it just takes too much time. Like it sat for like a year or something before I did make that amount of money. So that's when I did go to Goodwill and find these, $5 items that sold for 20 and sold more quantity wise than, the bigger stuff. But yeah, definitely do your research, and what Becky was saying, definitely look at the sell-through rate.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all that. Definitely look at sell-through rate. My thing would be, when do you start paying up? When you can spend that money and have it sit for a while and it not affect you, basically. So like if it's like, if you have $800, but you need that $800 because you have to buy something else or something's going up, and if you have to have that $800 back in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you got to be realistic. Like maybe it won't sell in 2 or 3 weeks. So probably wouldn't go as high as that. So that's what I would say. That would be my answer, is like, just be prepared. Whatever you pay up for it, if you don't get that return back as fast as you think, that you're still going to be afloat. Yeah,
that's really good advice. Yeah.
I didn't start paying up till after probably about 2 years. I had built up a lot of inventory. I still am really, really cheap. I am really cheap. So I don't get a ton of those big items, but I want some in to start, raising my monthly, sale. But like I said, I sold that one $3,000 one. The other one's still sitting there almost 2 years later. So just like a lot of times the higher dollar stuff takes longer. I got lucky. The 2 Judith Lieber purses sold in under a month. That was beautiful. But I agree with Julian. Like if you can't be out whatever amount of money it is for a year or two, I wouldn't do it, So like I had built my inventory up to well over $100,000 like listed on eBay before I started doing that. Like we have over 200,000 listed now. But a lot of that's the bigger items, because I did start doing that. But I think it's better to do those pay $5-10, sell it for 20, 30, 40, 50 until you have a decent amount of capital. But once you get those items listed or have a death pile, then start keeping the money from the sales. That's what I do. Keep the money from the sales, let your business bank account grow, and then you can look for those higher dollar items and, not be missing that money as much. I'm going to read these two questions and you guys I don't know if anybody in the chat helped her. I know I cannot help. Melinda's saying she accidentally turned on business policies and now she can't see the different shipping costs. Does anyone, and if anyone in the chat knows, I know I don't. And then she continued. She said she ships all kind of things and she can't figure it out and eBay is not helping. Do any of us know how to turn that off?
No, I'm so sorry. That sounds
I don't
awful.
even search because I've heard how bad it is and I'm scared if I search to try and help someone, I'm going to accidentally turn it on. So hopefully somebody can help. Richard, we'll have a bonfire with just regular cardboard stuff. You can pretend that they're filtered. You can pretend that they're from. Listen, Mark, you too, both of you. So Lori's saying she slowed her eBay way down. I'm assuming she means listing and stuff because she's been gone a lot. Do you think this will affect her account as far as the algorithm?
I mean, first of all, hi, Nicole. I saw a Soul Inspired Seller in here. Hi. So I one hard thing about reselling is I feel like it takes a pretty long period of consistency in order to start seeing results again. So I don't think that your algorithm is necessarily screwed, but it's just going to take a while to like kind of get back in the favor of eBay, if that makes sense. So, it's not going to take like one day of listing all day and then bam, like you're back in eBay's graces, but it'll take like a couple of weeks of you being consistent and getting listings up there for eBay to kind of trust you again. I mean, this is like me acting like eBay's a person, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like that too. Like I'll go on vacation or something. And that's why if I know I'm going to go on a trip, I try to schedule listings out, even though I have to pay 10 cents to like schedule them out and just have them go live later. I'd rather do that than like not list anything because it does take so much time to like get back in the swing of things. So.
Yeah, I agree. Consistency definitely is key. But I mean, I list 2 things a day because I'm part-time and I have consistent sales, but like 2 weeks ago, I went to visit my parents where Becky lives. And I didn't list anything for a week and then I didn't have any sales for a week, but I also believe in like the summer slowdown thing. Yeah. And it's definitely still now. And the kids going back to school, I feel like there's not a lot of people actually looking for stuff. But with fourth quarter around the corner, I'm pretty sure everybody's sales will pick up.
Yeah, this is the only time because we went to the 127, but we took like a week off to do all that stuff to get prepared. And I was busy the week before, so I really didn't list a whole bunch with YouTube stuff. And so it was like 2 weeks of like literally not doing much listing. And I didn't see the drop until I got back for some reason. Like I was selling stuff when I was gone. I was selling stuff the week prior. And then when I got back, like we've only been back maybe 7 days and sales aren't as high as they should be. Like I could see like it's trying to get there because you have to like gain their trust back again. I agree with Becky there. It's like
they are a person.
I've been here 3 years. You don't trust me already? So but it's been slow. We've been listing a lot, but it's just a consistency. Like if you might have a couple of slow days, you might have a slow week or two, but just keep listing, keep doing what you're doing, and it'll come back. Fourth quarter, I think, is going to be good for everybody.
Yeah, I think everybody said it. Like the less you list, the less you'll sell, and you'll have to build it back up, and it'll just take time. Michelle wants to know if anyone sells on the Real.
I have sent maybe like under 75 items, I would say. And I've had some really big successes with them, but lately it's just been a lot of awful. So I'm definitely not in the camp of like recommending it to people. Because man, a lot of the stuff that they sold of mine, especially recently, I could have sold for like 10 times more. So that was kind of frustrating. Some pieces that like I couldn't give away and they sold and made me like a $200 or $300 profit, but they've also recently changed their payout structure and it's much worse for consigners. So I don't think I'm going to be sending them very much anymore.
I don't sell on the real.
Nope.
Me either. I reset my internet, so hopefully it will behave because I kept seeing everybody freezing up. I don't know if I've been freezing up, hopefully.
Actually, your internet's been pretty decent.
Well, it was being crazy on my end. I'm glad you aren't seeing it. Reese, does List Perfectly have an app? You can list from the browser on your phone, the Chrome browser, but you cannot cross post. They do not have an app, though. You have to use the browser on your phone. You would have to use the browser. Hold on, I'm scrolling. Everybody's chit-chatting. Beach Walker wants to know, and I know, Jess, you referred to using the template, so maybe you can take this as a template the same as a draft.
Not, I mean, the template I just use for like, I have a shirts and a pants, so I just use the shirts one for any shirts. And it has the listing like underarm to underarm and the measurements, top of the shoulder to the bottom. And then I just plug in the numbers, and then pants, it's just like the waist, the inseam, and everything like that. So it's just a difference in measurements for my templates. And I don't always use them. But yeah, a draft is, I feel like a listing you've already created and you haven't listed it yet. Like maybe you're saving it for when you're on vacation and you want to list some things. I don't know if anybody else can.
Well, no, I mean, I think the template's just something you use over and over again, where it drafts like actual items, I guess is the easiest way. Rhonda says, I got a 1940s Mickey Mouse with a rubber face. It has something sticking on his face. Do I try and wash him or not?
I don't want to answer. I don't want to mess you up.
I figured people wouldn't want to, but I figured I would give you guys.
Yeah, that sounds valuable, so I don't want to give you any advice on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna zip.
Yeah,
that's one.
I'm not touching it. I'm not cleaning his face. I'm just letting it go.
I would not either on something that old. I would just sell it as is. I think this is for Jess. They said, when you said you're getting rid of your vintage, what's your reason for it? And they're hoping that vintage isn't dead in the water. They have a lot of vintage to list.
Oh, not at all. I think vintage is like totally coming back, especially for those new kids coming in. They're all like, Depop is like becoming more popular, and it's a lot of vintage on there. I just had a storage unit like I bought 3 years ago, and it had 6,000 fashion items in it, and it's been overwhelming. My mom and I kind of went at it together, and we're both part-time sellers, so taking on 6,000 items was a little more than we expected. And everything was like in trash bags, and yeah, so we got through like maybe 3,000 or 4,000 pieces, and then we just like got burnt out with vintage. So that's why we're kind of quitting.
It's a lot to research too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helped you.
Oh,
is she frozen?
Oh, she's back.
It made it worse. I thought it would make it better. It made it worse. So I'm back to my original internet. Bradford wants to know, is there a way to adjust the item or the weight and dimensions after a sale? Like if you guess too high or too low when you listed it, but find the right time, the right weight when you actually go to ship it.
It depends on the platform. So eBay, yes, you can change stuff. Mercari, if you have the buyer paying for shipping, you cannot change it. Poshmark is a flat shipping fee, so that one's pretty easy. Poshmark is just if it's over 5 pounds, you're supposed to go in and pay for more shipping or pay for like a heavier shipping label. I don't know what platforms I'm missing, but yeah, it just kind of depends on the platform.
Same.
Yeah, Facebook's the same. Yeah, Facebook's the same too. You can't change it afterwards. I think Becky covered I think Becky's on it. She's perfect for the hot seat.
Yes.
No, yeah, and it is frustrating. Like on Mercari, if you make a mistake, there's no nice, easy way to. You have to just like talk to the buyer. You have to cancel the order. You have to hope that they purchase it again. Like it is really frustrating. So you want to make sure that you get that right on Mercari.
On eBay, you can though. On eBay, when you go to print it, you can change it to whatever it is. Now you cannot go charge your buyer. You're not going to get more money. You're going to have to pay the difference. Or if you were, over, then you would keep the difference unless it was significant and you wanted to refund them some. But so eBay, you just change it whenever you go to print the label. Rating Retro, North Carolina. How do you keep track of cost of goods for items that you buy but don't list for a while? I know we shouldn't buy and not list ASAP, but we all know that we do.
So for me, before I started using List Perfectly's inventory management system, I mean, I have a YouTube channel and I would haul like the majority of the stuff that I got on my YouTube channel. So if I forgot, I would like go back and watch my haul video and I'd be like, oh, I picked this up for that much. Like I said it in that video. But now I try to get in the habit of when I bring stuff home, I'll open up List Perfectly and I'll just start listings. Like I'll just say really quickly, like, I cannot think of a single brand like Anthropologie, Maeve, like short sleeve, red striped t-shirt. And then I'll put in at the very least where I got it, the date I got it, and how much I paid for it. Because I'm never going to remember that like 10 hauls later, So I at least try to put that information in. I have it all started. And then when I get around to photographing things and actually getting stuff listed, then I just pull up that same listing that I already started. I plug my pictures in there, finish the listing, and then I'm good to go.
Becky, can you cover this real quick before we move on to Jess? Miss Judy's asking, where is the place on List Perfectly that you can put, like, where are you putting it on List Perfectly, where you bought it, and all of that stuff?
So I'm going to pull up a list. I just put it in my notes. So at the very bottom of List Perfectly, there's a thing that just says notes. And that's where I put it. And then I put like where I got it and the date. And then anything else that I want there I can put. But that's how I keep track of it at least. And then you can even pull that up when you like search everything. You can type like if you want to see like, where your items are all from like one particular Goodwill. Like you can type that Goodwill in and everything will populate for you.
I was going to say I buy at the Goodwill bins and the bag sale. So I average the cost of goods because I really can't tell you how much I paid for a sweater at the Goodwill bins. Mm-hmm. And my average cost of goods is usually like 50 cents to $1 per piece. So that's what I use. And then typically I do list things like the next day. I do that because I am part-time and I don't have time to let it sit too long without being listed. But yeah, I think that covers it.
Yeah, I do like an average, but it would be like almost like a monthly average. So like when it goes to the bookkeeper, they just do the cost of goods for that month and how much I made and everything like that. So I couldn't tell you exactly, especially with my bigger yard sale buys, when I buy like the yard sale, like the entire thing, I couldn't tell you how much I paid for one item. That would be very hard. But I can tell you if I paid up on something, if I paid over like $25, I usually remember that. Like, whoa, I paid $32 for that thing. So that would, because I think paying $25 for something is expensive. So I would remember that. But other than that, like totally, I do cash in, cash out type of deal. So I have, if it just sits, that means it's literally money just sitting there, like the spent money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I agree with Julian. So I only do money in, money out too. So it's how much money I spent for the month. How much money did I make for the month? I don't do per. So I'm remembering off the top of my head. Yesterday was actually the first time in a long time. I had no clue where I got it, how much I'm like, I don't know. It's been in a box for 2 years. I do remember, But I know, like Julian, I know I don't pay up. I know I'm cheap, and I wouldn't have paid more than $5 for this thing. So I know me, and I know what I would pay for certain items. But overall, it's just how much I'm spending, how much is going out. And the only time that hurts, because I'm trying to kind of cancel it out, is like when I go on which I'm on one again, I'm not allowed to buy things. I have like all this money coming in and no money going out. And then it's like, like I gotta spend some money again. So yeah, that's the only thing for me. But I also have my high bid invoices, which is mostly where I buy. So if I paid up like my Kappa Di Monte and stuff like that, high bid has where I can go search my past winnings for the past year, and I can go back there and look. But like Julian said, the stuff in my death pile, I always list the stuff that's going to bring me the most money first. So that haul is paid for within a month. So if it's sitting there, technically, I probably have no money in it. I've already made my money back on that buy. So technically nothing, even though I might have paid, $1 or $2 a piece, I've already broke even on all of my lots. So really, it's all profit. I do try and tell everybody what I paid so they get an idea of what, I would pay. But yeah. Cindy says she has several people watching. Becky, what is that noise?
I'm so sorry. My like Apple IDs are connected everywhere. So when people text me, it comes in, and I like one of my group chats.
Funny.
No,
Whatever.
so I need to tell them like stop texting, and I don't know how to turn it off. Like I had the same problem. I was on some. Anyways, I'm so sorry. My face is turning red.
No, you're fine. So Cindy said she has several people watching her items. She sends offers without much luck. Why aren't they buying? And do you have trouble with this as well?
Yeah, I don't know like how everyone else does with this. I would say like on average, when I send out offers, like maybe like 25% of the time they will accept. There was one day that I had watchers on 3 different items, and I sent out offers to watchers, and it was like ding ding ding, like one after another, like they all accepted, and I was like, what in the world? Like it was amazing. But that was one time. It's never happened again. Like usually I make like 2 sales a week using offers to watchers, but I also don't have like 6,000 things listed, but still.
Yeah, I do offers to watchers on Fridays because I figure that's when people are getting paid. And then I think I send out like maybe 50 and maybe 1 actually buys. So yeah, I don't have much luck with that. But hey, can I segue this question and ask you guys, if you guys do the offers to watchers, have you ever had a trouble when you put in your offer of like missing a number? Because I did a TikTok on this, and I was gonna put in $29.99, and I put in $2.99, and I didn't know it, and I did it twice in the same day. I sold something for $1, and I sold something for $2.99.
Oh, no.
So I did make sales that day, but I lost the money. Has that ever happened to you guys?
Oh no.
Nobody, just me.
Yeah, I've never done
Just
that.
me.
I've done it to the second page where you review it, and then I've usually caught it.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm just too fast.
You could be too fast. You just, boop, done.
Yeah.
Boom. I got to get stuff done.
Gotta get stuff done. Yeah, I've never done. Luckily, I've always caught it on the second page. But no, I would say like 1 out of 50. That's pretty good. That would be mine too. If I send 50 offers, probably 1's going to take it. It's pretty low.
Yeah, I send about 100 a day, I would say, on average. Maybe 2 or 3. It's low. It's low.
Yeah.
It's super low. Like 2%, I would say, is average. But that's, it takes you 2 seconds to send them out, and that's 2% of sales that you wouldn't get. I do send them every day because I feel like they just looked at the item. I want to catch them, right after they look at it. I haven't tried. I don't know if I could deal with seeing it till Friday, but I would probably have like 500 or something to send out on a Friday. But it's not high. It's not high. I think this might be split because I think this is very opinion based, but Lorraine wants to know, she's in the market for a new computer. Do we recommend Windows or iMac?
I don't even know how to use Windows anymore. So, I mean, I'm just an Apple girl through and through. Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I'm a Windows. I bought an iMac once. I spent all this money on it, and I was like, I'm the coolest person in the world because I have an iMac now, and I had no idea how to use it and sold it like the next day because I was done.
Yeah, we are a split house here. I am a Windows, and Kayla is an Apple, and she has her computer in her room now, and the Dymo is connected to that. Can't use her computer whatsoever. I now have a thermal printer in my room now connected to my computer. Windows all the way.
And I'm Windows too. I'm Windows too. I think it really is like whatever your preference is, what you're used to using and what you know. That's like the whole Android, Apple, you know, do what feels comfortable for you. Question for Julian. Did you see this in the chat? Can you bring Willow?
Willow's probably sleeping. She's the laziest dog ever.
Oh.
I wish she might be. If Kayla's watching, she might bring her in here.
Okay. Hi, Leroy. Leroy, I'm so sorry. Leroy was going to pick me up from the airport in Charlotte, but I had to cancel because I definitely have been exposed to COVID. So I cannot be flying around. But thank you for offering, Leroy. I'm so sorry. I hope you enjoy FlipCon. I hope you enjoy it. To all of you going, I hope you enjoy it. Do any of us do parcel shipping? Miss Judy wants to know. I think she's saying she picks it because it's cheaper even than first class sometimes.
I think I've done it like once or twice, but typically, no. I don't even really understand what it is. So, yeah.
I've done it once, and it took 3 weeks for the person to get their item, but it was a larger item, so I don't do it anymore.
No.
So I've been doing this, and I think it's helping. This is a trick. It might. Don't let me complicate you if you don't get this. So they have the USPS retail ground now as an option on eBay, which is cheaper than priority, but it still ends up being a little bit more than priority with our discount. So I choose USPS retail ground so my customers get part of my discount. But when it comes to shipping, I switch it to priority. And I have not lost money, and I feel like I'm getting more sales because of that. So it's not like the whole 30%. I feel like it's like halfway. And I've been doing that on almost all of my new ones. Plus, that gives you a longer window of shipping because it's like 2 to 9 days, and nobody's complained about it. And I feel like I'm getting more sales. I know that sounds complicated, but yeah, so I'm being weird, but it seems like it's working. So I choose retail ground and then I ship priority. But they don't have to pay as much. Do you ship to P.O. boxes? I recently shipped out an item to P.O. box. It arrived on the 15th and the buyer has not picked up.
I wonder if you ship to me because I do that. I visit my P.O. box like once a month. You know, I don't pay like super attention to where things are going, and I probably should. And maybe I've missed some really cool like destinations too, you know, but I'm sure I have, and I just don't know. And how do you know that they didn't pick it up? Because like, does eBay send you something saying that it hasn't been picked up? Like, I don't even know how you would know that, but yeah.
I think maybe, are they talking about Poshmark? Because does it not show as complete until?
That's true. Yeah, but I don't even pay attention to that. Like I should, but I'm just kind of like, I'll get my money when I get my money. Like,
I don't pay attention to whether it gets there either.
Yeah, eBay, it would just say that it was delivered at the P.O. box.
Yeah.
The only thing is you cannot ship FedEx or UPS to a post office box. So I know some sellers will tell you cannot.
And if you're shipping golf clubs and it's solely you're doing UPS, you need to make sure you exclude P.O. boxes because that will burn you like $20 every time.
Yes.
Or
yeah. So that's the only thing. So I ship to them. I'm like Becky. It could be to me too. I don't pick up from my P.O. box. It's so funny because like I take the packages of the post office maybe twice a month, if that. 99% of the time it is my husband. So every time I go in, they're like, here's your P.O. box stuff. He won't ever take it. I'm like, really? So they try and give him our stuff and he doesn't want to take it. But mainly our stuff, that is for my YouTube address. So, but I don't get like a ton of like friend mail. So mostly it's returns from eBay. So I'm not like, what's in the P.O. box? I'm like, oh, yay, more returns, you know, so I don't rush that. Here is your dolphin, Miss Chance.
Super chat.
Beach Walker, I know the picture. Am I frozen again?
No, you're good.
Okay. I'm like, you guys keep like blacking out as like you're popping up. It's weird. Beach Walker says, do you have to have an eBay store for deductions for eBay sales or just your account, like for traveling, sourcing, shipping supplies? So I think she means tax wise, can you still write it off?
Right off the eBay store or right off the
Right
other
off
store?
like your sourcing and your items and your traveling and all that.
You can write off so much, like so much
You
more
do
than
not
you
have
think.
to have a store. You do
Yeah.
not have to have a store. It
Okay,
doesn't matter.
yeah. I didn't understand the question, but yes.
Yeah, you don't have to have a store. You just would file a self-employed, like the add-on on your taxes, and you can write off whatever you want, whether you have an eBay store or not. All right, let me give you a dolphin. Here's a dolphin. Thank you.
Super chat.
I'm going to grab this one. Nancy said she just sold a large painting, almost 30 pounds with a frame. Cheapest shipping is $248. Is that normal? It might be normal if you're like me in Florida and you're shipping to Washington State. I could see it costing that much. I just shipped one that UPS destroyed, by the way, a $600 painting. And I have no way to file a claim that came back to me. But it cost from here to Boston, so still on the East Coast, it was almost $100 in shipping. So I could see if it's coast to coast. Normally FedEx and UPS are the cheaper. You can normally get it under like $150 coast to coast, because that's about the same dimensions mine was, and it was right at like $100. So I would, on eBay, you can check compare all services and it'll tell you all the different prices. There should be a cheaper way than that. There should be a cheaper way than that. That might be priority mail, but I definitely, she said, okay. So Nancy, my question to you is, did you ask UPS to pack it for you? Like that could explain that high cost. If they're boxing it and packaging it for you, that might be why, if you're not packaging it yourself. So if that's the case, then I see you asking her, Julian, did she, using UPS website. Oh, it wouldn't let her edit the shipping.
It's because it was like an offer or something on eBay, so she couldn't edit that to see, I don't know. I think
you would have to wait till they pay. If they're asking you, what I would do is go get an estimate from Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship's free to join. And Pirate Ship, you can put in dimensions, you can put in their address, your address, and get a UPS and priority rates. I would go, if you're trying to get a rate for the buyer, I would go to Pirate Ship, because that's very comparable to eBay's discounts. So you would see as well. I see everybody answering now.
There's a long conversation about that.
I see. I'm reading it all now. I'm like, oh, what did I miss? This is what happens when I'm up top. Hi, Eric. Thanks for stopping in. We have almost 600 people in the chat. We have 10 minutes left. I made it past 9 o'clock tonight. Not very much. It's 9:03 is where I'm at. Monica Meadows says her question is, do you have a set % on offers that you're willing to take, or do you base it on how long it's been listed?
Yeah, I think it's listing by listing, like some offers, I'll get like a 25% offer and I'm like, yes, because I've had it for like 4 years, and some things it's like kind of reasonable, but I know it'll sell full price because I priced it to sell and I don't budge, so it really depends on each item.
I would say, well, I'm going to speak more towards Poshmark, and I overprice everything by like too much. Like, I probably shouldn't price as high as I do, but I always take into account that 20% fee. Poshmark is like the highest percentage in fees than any other platform, I believe. And with eBay, I don't do the offers. Like, I don't accept, or I don't have best offer turned on. So I always have my best price on eBay. So anything that I get on Poshmark, like even if it's 50%, I'll probably take it. But that's probably not how you should do yours. It's just how I see it. And then if I do have it for a long time, I will probably take anything above $10.
Yeah.
Me taking an offer really all depends on like my mood, how much I've spent, like Scott, like if I haven't had like a sale, I'll tell you what, you hit me early in the morning, you're getting a deal because I need a first sale. It makes me happy, it makes my day. So, but the longer it is in my inventory, the least I will take for it, basically. So that if I just posted it and you're like shooting me like a 50% off, absolutely not. But like if it's been there for like 6 months, I'll take 75% off. I don't care. Get it out of here.
Yeah, I won't. If you send me 50% or less, I'm going to decline you automatically. I might decline more if I'm in a bad mood. You might get declined for 60 or 70 if I'm in a crappy mood, and you just get the brunt of my, like, I get that satisfaction of hitting decline. It really depends on how long it's been listed and how much I paid, because some of my higher dollar stuff, I wouldn't take 50%. I'm going to let it sit there because I've researched how much it can sell for, and I would rather let it sit. But like that painting I just sold, it wasn't signed. I probably shouldn't have gotten it. And so I took a 50% offer because it was more than I paid, which now with UPS damaging it, the buyer does still want the painting. I actually reshipped just the painting. UPS destroyed the frame and the glass. Luckily, the painting was still intact. So I reshipped that out today. The buyer actually, they wanted $250. And I'm like, no, like I can list this painting by itself again for $300. I can give you $150 and reship it. And they actually said, yeah, I was worried because I didn't know how they'd react, but I was like, I just cannot, like, I can't do $250. Like I already took an offer from you. I gave you a good price. I can't, like, the frame and the glass is not worth that much. The painting's what's really worth it. And they said, okay, I'll take $150. So it really depends. I'm not like Julian. So for me, 6 months isn't a long time. For me to do like a deep discount would be like a 2-year item. 6 months, I'm like, I'm probably only going to go maybe 30%, maybe. And it depends on my mood.
2 year, I'm not even taking that offer. I got to go find the item first because most likely it's lost.
Step one. Yeah.
Step one,
no,
find
me too. Before I send offers out, I actually, and it might have been a viewer, somebody sent me an offer on some earrings. They were not marked. And I was like, I don't know where they're at. And I had to end the item. So that was a case of, I can't take your offer because I don't know where they were. And it was a good offer, but if I can't find it, then I can't sell it. So at least it was an offer, not just buying. Soul Inspired Seller, $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. She said she's a cross lister mainly between eBay and Poshmark. Do you think it hurts sellers in the eBay algorithm if they are constantly removing items that sell on other platforms?
Hi, friend. I don't know like the real answer. I don't think any of us like know like the real like going ons with like the algorithms and stuff. However, I remember like Mogi Beth had something in her Instagram stories like a long time ago where she was like ending a lot of stuff on Tradesy because she hadn't been on there in a while and a lot of stuff had sold on other platforms. And because she was like in there tinkering around, even though it was just to delete listings that were no longer valid, like all these sales started coming in because she was like active in the app. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm sure eBay like to some degree does get annoyed that we're like taking stuff off, but also I just think it's like the daily activity of like doing stuff in there. I think it also helps. So if anything, maybe it balances out. But I don't think it hurts in a way where like it's not worth it to cross list, and you shouldn't be putting things on there because you're just deleting them since they're selling elsewhere. I don't think it hurts in that sense, but also I'm making it all up in my head because I don't really know. Like eBay and I haven't talked in that way, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a real good answer for that. I mean, yeah, again, I don't think anybody really knows unless they actually work for eBay.
I don't even think they know. So
yeah, probably
I
not.
don't think they know.
So same.
Yeah, I have no idea. I would say though, like any type of activity on the eBay, I'm always a big fan of activity on your eBay account. So if you're in there just deleting things, that means you're also probably listing things because you're cross posting things. So all that's kind of equaling out. And I think that any type of activity is good, but I have no idea.
I don't think it hurts because I am constantly removing, and like my eBay sales right now, I'm at like 17,000 this month. I'm up 35% from last month, and I'm ending all kinds of items because Poshmark's been doing great. So I think I agree. I think it evens out, but I think nobody knows. Even the people at eBay don't know. Nobody knows. But I don't think it really hurts. I'm going to give you your dolphin, and then we're going to answer one more question, and then I'm going to let these ladies go because I know they're tired. So here is your dolphin, and then we'll do one more question.
Super chat.
And I lost. And Clay came in with super chat. What is he talking? AI and the Go rhythms. Yeah. We don't know that one. Nobody knows it.
Algorithm.
Oh man, where did it go? Oh, I found it. Hold on, Clay. I'll give you a dolphin after we answer this question.
Pretty clever.
Hold on. Miss Doris wants to know, do you still list an item that there are a lot of them already listed?
Yeah. If I have it in my possession, I will list it. And 9 times out of 10, my pictures are better than theirs. And, it's like, yeah, I still do. Because you can't sell it if you don't list it. So
I agree. Yeah. If you do good pictures and have a good title and description, I think you could probably sell it over some other people, because I have seen listings where it just says blue dress. And I'm like,
Oh, that's my listing.
there you go. Like, that's why
It's been there a while.
So yeah, I definitely list it.
Yeah, I agree. List it.
I agree. I would list it if I have it. But I want to say, if you're looking at stuff and there are a lot listed and none sold or not many sold, don't pick it up. Yeah. Don't bring it home in your possession. So I think that would be the more important question, would be like, should you pick up an item that there are a lot listed? And the answer is only if there are a lot sold. If there are not a lot sold, leave it at the thrift store, leave it wherever you're looking at it. And yeah. All right. I'm going to give Clay a dolphin, and then I'm going to let Becky and Jess tell you guys bye and tell you if they have videos coming up or whatnot shows or whatever they have coming up. And then we will let you guys go. Here is your dolphin, Clay, and then I will bring you guys back.
Super chat.
All right, I didn't like jump in. That would have not been nice, I feel like. So here's Becky to tell you guys bye.
Thank you so much, Kat, for having me on again. It's always such a pleasure. And thank you to all of you in the chat. It was really fun hanging out. Let's see. I have a video that will get uploaded at some point. I need to edit it first and upload it and do all the things. But again, I'm just very tired from starting school. And then I do have a Whatnot show tomorrow. I'll probably start it around 9 p.m. Central Standard, so I can do it when my kids are down. But yeah, come hang out. It's all closed if you are interested in that sort of thing. I don't really have much else to share, but thanks for having me.
Perfect. Here's Jess.
Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks for having me, Kat. I appreciate it. And everybody in the chat and all the people that were in the show. It was definitely fun hanging out. I haven't done this for a while, so it was fun to actually answer questions live. And let's see, I don't have a Whatnot show that's coming up, and I don't have any YouTube videos that are coming up, but I do the shorts on YouTube, and I try to post every other day, and I think it has been helping a lot. If you guys are interested in growing your channels at all, I've doubled my channel subscriptions, which isn't much. It's not much. It went from like 3K to 6K within a month. So, and I got 1.6 million views within a month. So, I mean, I guess that's okay. But yeah, shorts.
That's okay.
Shorts are the way to go. And I just upload them. My TikToks, I just uploaded those to my shorts. So there's no work that I had to do. But yeah, I do TikToks every day. So if you are on TikTok, go find me. I am Gor Jes Boutique. And yeah, thanks again for having me.
Perfect. Okay, next week we are having Leroy, who was in the chat earlier, Blood, Sweat, Sell, and Brandy from My Reseller Treasure, which she's great as well. And neither one of them have been on in a little while. Julian, what do you got coming up, my friend?
I drop a video every other day. So
are you going to every day? I thought you said you were going to go to every day.
Impossible. We we did that when we were at the 127. Yeah. Well, I did it at the 127, which was a mistake.
Okay.
I should have kept all that material that we got. It was a lot, and it was a lot to go back and go out there, go to the yard sales and come back, and then I would actually edit and upload one by 7 p.m. But it was fun, and people liked it. They watched it and stuff, so I appreciate it.
I did that in Pennsylvania. That was rough. I went out with Jocelyn, hanging out with Jocelyn, Dagny, and Dale, and then I would go back to the Airbnb, edit a video really quick, and up when I was doing daily when I was up there, and yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
Crazy.
So yeah, well, if Leroy and Brandy on next week, I haven't made it yet. I'm going to have a how to list faster video coming out tomorrow night. And what else? Oh, tomorrow night, guys, tomorrow is the thrift battle on Primetime Treasure between George the Antique Nomad and T. Auctions for you. And whoever wins that goes in the finale against me. I made it to the top level, so whoever wins tomorrow night is going up against me, and I think the prize is like $800. So
Nice.
I'm a little invested in who wins because they're going up against me in the finale. Yeah, so check out Primetime Treasure. I think it's 9 o'clock tomorrow. George is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. He's amazing. So yeah, we will see you guys next week with Leroy and Brandy. Jess, Becky, thank you for coming on. I know you're tired. I appreciate you guys. All right. We will see you guys next Tuesday. Have a good night.